I'm Bullseye, and thank you for coming to another episode of Bullseye TV. Yeah, boy. Today I got a special video, something very personal to me, and it's a long story, so let's get right on it, man. Everything started about 18 years ago, something like that. At that time, I was just a normal guy, just out running around, man, all by myself. Didn't really know anybody. I was getting into motorcycles. Well, I mean, I have been riding for maybe 2 years, so I mean 2-3 years, so I mean everything was still pretty new to me. It's a lot to learn, a lot to take in. So I had this 1970s iron head for sale, and this guy hit me up on Facebook. He hit me up and he says, hey, I want to buy the bike from you, deliver it to my house, I'll give you a little extra. Say, cool, man, done deal. So I pull up to his, I get the bike loaded. I pull up to his house, and he's got this long driveway. He lives out there in the middle of nowhere, and he actually pulls up behind me, and he's on his motorcycle. I guess he's coming from a ride, and he's wearing his cut. And that was the first time I seen a motorcycle club cut. First time I saw a patch. And I mean, man, like I said, that stuff was still really new to me. I was like 22, 23. Man, that stuff was, I was like, wow, that's freaking badass. I was like, this guy is the real deal. Anyways, he was the real deal. Anyways, we got to talking. I started asking questions about the club. I was curious. He was very, very polite, very respectful, and so he invites me to go riding with him. He says, hey man, here's my number, hit me up sometime, let's go riding, have a good time. At that time I had this old beat up Sportster. I had a lot of work done to it, but it was a good looking bike. It was my other bike that I had, but it wasn't roadworthy. Not like I would like to be running on a big pack with the motorcycle club. So I just never hit up the guy, so I just kind of stuck to myself. So time goes by, maybe 6 months to a year. I'm at a gas station and I'm getting gas, and at that time I had traded my Sportster, and I got this 2002 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Classic, and I mean, this thing was beautiful. I loved it, man. It was white walls, big oil hangers, spoke wheels. I mean, that thing was badass. Floorboards, which floorboards was pretty new to me. I was used to nothing but pegs, and man, it was a nice bike. I really enjoyed it. So I meet him, and he invites me to this homeless room. So I meet him in the middle of nowhere, literally, because we live probably 10 miles from each other, but he lives out in the country. So I meet him in the middle of nowhere, and we take off. And I mean, it's cold, man. I remember being like 40 degrees or something like that. It was pretty chilly. We take off, we ride an hour all the way to Fort Worth, and we get there, we pull up into their clubhouse, and it was the first time that I seen a motorcycle clubhouse. And we're the first guys that pull up, so everybody's pulling in, and I'm watching everybody. And like I said, this stuff is still very, very new to me. So I did have this idea that they were all gonna be assholes. They all, every single one of them look pretty intimidating. They look scary, big bikers, blah blah blah. So I mean, yeah, I was a young kid, so I was like, shit, these guys are gonna be assholes to me. But that was not the case, man. Every single one of them was very polite, was very respectful. They were all real nice. So we get ready to go on the homeless run, and we take off. We are going down this downtown Fort Worth riding, and because I'm the new guy, the hang around, I'm at the very back of the pack, so I get to see everybody. And let me tell you, we're riding down downtown Fort Worth, and they got these huge tall buildings, man, and everybody's in front of me riding side by side. They're all wearing their cuts, all black leather, all covered up because it's cold. So we are basically rolling thunder, man. everybody's turning their heads, everybody's looking at us. And let me tell you, that's a very, very powerful feeling. You don't really know what that feels like until you're there riding, you know, in a big group. And everybody uniform with the cuts on, the leathers on. Man, it's a badass feeling. And I got to see everybody. Like, I got to see everybody in front of me riding side by side. And like I said, man, that feeling, it was pretty powerful. It was pretty badass. I was like, wow. Like, I want to be part of this, you know. I want to be part of this club, part of these guys. I want to feel badass, you know. Anyways, we did a homeless run. We get to the homeless shelter. We closed down a couple of streets, and there was chase cars behind us with the old ladies, and we had maybe 30-50 pizza boxes. So we started handing out pizza to all the homeless people. We handed out clothes that was donated, and man, we were there for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and it was a great time, man. All the homeless people were really thankful for us to be in there. They were really appreciative. You know, they were taking pictures on their bikes. They were sitting on their bikes, looking at them. We were talking to them. It was a great time, and man, it was very heartwarming, because the homeless run was around Christmas time. And if you really think about it, I mean, these guys are homeless. Well, these families. I mean, these were families, little kids too, man. They're homeless. You know, they're not gonna get a Christmas. They're not gonna get, you know, they're gonna spend Christmas and New Year's in a homeless shelter. And I was very, very glad to be part of that charity, part of the homeless run. I like to support all charities. I like to help out wherever I can. So me and him ride back to our house, and you know, time went by. Maybe another year went by, and I just didn't come around because I was just doing my own thing, running with my own friends. You know, I had met some people in the interwebs, and I met this guy throughout that year that we became really good friends, and we ended up going to the Wasp County Toll Run. And this club actually helps the Wasp County Toll Run. They were the muscle of the toll run. They set up the chairs, pick up the trash, they hand out the chili. I mean, they do all this stuff. They manage the toys, you know, getting everything sorted out. So, you know, I was like, man, that is pretty cool. These guys really like to help out. They really like to help out the community. We did the toll run, and then I see this guy again, this guy that invited me to come ride with them. And he's like, hey man, we're going over to the clubhouse, a clubhouse that we got nearby here in West County. You want to come with us? We're gonna go over there and have a few drinks, hang out. We do it every year. I'm like, yeah man, I'm down, let's go. So me and my buddy go over there. We hang out for a few hours. You know, everybody's really cool. Again, I said hi to everybody. You know, and it was a great time that we had. When we got home, we go our separate ways. And my buddy just messaged me and says, hey man, you know, I think I want to join this club. I want to be part of the club. Man, do it. Go for it, you know. Awesome, I'm happy for you. So he did. He ended up joining the club. And then I started coming around more because, you know, that's my buddy. I started going to the back nights, going out to their functions. You know, I became a legit hang-around at the time. An actual hang-around, even though I knew the club for 2-3 years by then. So time goes by. I'm still not a prospect. I'm just a hang-around. And I take a trip to Mexico, my hometown Mexico, right in Matamoros, Tamaulipas. Yeah, baby. And while I'm down there on my motorcycle, my stator goes out. And I mean, the stator charges the battery, so my battery's only lasted like 150 miles to 200 miles at a time. And that really sucks, man. So I hit up my old lady and say, hey, my motorcycle's down. I don't know, I'm thinking I might get a bus. Get a bus ticket, get a plane ticket. And she's like, yeah, get a plane ticket, get a bus ticket, whatever, I'll pick you up, you know, at the station. And I'm thinking, man, I really don't want to leave my bike down there. Even though I have a house, I can stick it in there, I just don't want to leave it because I really don't know when I'm going to come back to get it, you know. So I hit up my friend from this club, and because I'm thinking I'm just representing the state of myself right there at my house. I mean, I can buy some tools and get it done. And he says, man, you know, don't do it. He said, it's a big job, and if you really don't know what you're doing, you're gonna fuck something up. He said, the best thing to do, throw the bike on a U-Haul truck and then hold it back. He said, if you don't have the money for that, let me know. I'll send you money so you can get a U-Haul truck. And he said, if you cannot get a U-Haul truck, then let me know where you are. He said, I'll grab my trailer and I'll come pick you up. And I was like, man, that's pretty badass. Like, this guy's gonna drive 10 hours to pick up just a hang around, you know what I mean, that broke down in another country. And that's just the way the club was, you know, that's just the brotherhood that was in the club. No man left behind, and they lived by those words, and they still do, you know. So I decided to just leave the bike home. I literally went 150 miles to 200 miles per charge, and literally went 150 miles to 200 miles per charge, and each AutoZone, and I would just take the battery out and charge it. So finally make it home, you know. And at that time I feel like it's been long enough, you know, like it's time for me to join the club, you know what I mean. Like it's my time. I know these guys for a few years. I feel like I can be 100% there, and I can dedicate myself to it, and I want to do it. So my old lady backed me up 100%, and then I became part of the club. Well, I left the guys that I wanted to be. So they have the church, and they voted me in as a prospect. And now this is just the start of me being part of the club. You know, I got a lot of stories, stuff that I did as a prospect, stuff that happened, which that might be a topic for a different video. For right now, I just want to tell you guys that's how I ended up joining the club. Now, each club is different. Real motorcycle clubs are not just gonna let anybody join. You have to meet certain requirements, and I had the requirements to join. That guy from the club kind of brought me in. He ended up becoming my daddy, which, you know, in this club they call them daddies. They don't call them sponsors. So, you know, I became a prospected for almost a year. Then I became a full patch member, and the rest is, you know, is history. And why I joined the club, okay? Well, the reason why I joined is because I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. I never really felt like I had the family like I would have liked, you know. My family was not very close at all. These guys really showed me what family was, and, you know, for that I'm very thankful. The brotherhood was there. I really enjoyed the brotherhood. I think it's a great club to be part of. As you can see, guys, I'm wearing a vest right now. I don't have any patches on. I left the club. I'm not part of the club, and I still got love for you know, for those guys in the club. I got nothing against them. They're great guys. I'm not gonna talk bad about them. The reason why I left the club, well, the reason why I left the club is probably gonna be a topic for a different video. But I think I talked enough, guys. I want to say thank you for coming to the channel. Thank you for listening to this story of how and why I joined the club, how I learned about the motorcycle club life. I'm never going to mention names. I'm never going to mention the club name, but it's out there. If you want to know which club I was in, go watch all my older videos. It's all there. I'm not hiding anything. Thank you guys for coming to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Bullseye TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Support your boy Bullseye. Support those that support you. And I will see you guys next time.